The Blue Cow had been a restaurant longer than it had been a casino. Its Montana breakfast, served all day, as featured in Reader's Digest, consisted of a half-pound of bacon, 4 jumbo eggs, 12 pancakes, 3/4 of a pound of hash browns, a pint of orange juice, and endless coffee. A Western epic, well known across the high plains. We had gotten a late start. The sun was already sinking over the rolling hills of the little Bighorn country and was casting surrealistic shadows against the 1-ton hay bales of the Indian ranchers. It was September, and with the sporadic rain of a cool August, it looked like everybody was going to get a third cutting. We rolled the windows half down and made Dog stay in the truck. I lifted Lonnie, placed the legless man in his wheelchair, and rolled him in. He smiled at the remains of the day and picked up a free Shoshone Shopper newspaper as we passed through the double-glass doors into the restaurant. I wheeled the old Cheyenne Indian to a booth by the window, where I could keep an eye on the truck and on Dog, and where we could hear Montana Slim singing Roundup in the Fall through his nose on a radio in the kitchen. 1948 8N tractor. Only $1,200. He held his gray and black hair back with a sun-tanned, wrinkled hand. Comes with a Dearborn front-end loader. I tipped my hat back, pulled a menu from the napkin holder, and looked at the tiny rainbows at the corners of his thick glasses. I don't need a tractor, Lonnie. It is a good price. Yes, it is so. I nodded, tossed the menu on the table, and glanced around. You think there's anybody here? He blinked and looked over my shoulder toward the cash register. My gaze followed his. 2 sets of eyes stared at us just above the surface of the worn-out, wood-grained Formica counter. So you weren't here when it happened? The Bighorn County deputy continued to take my statement. He was young, and I didn't know him. Nope, we just stopped in for a little dinner and noticed that everybody was hiding. And you're headed to Billings? I wondered what that had to do with anything. Yep. And the old Indian is with you? I had listened as he'd questioned Lonnie Littlebird and hadn't liked his tone. Lonnie,